You know, most of us have a lot going on, and sometimes our brains go overload, overload, overload. And as soon as it's in that overload, overwhelm, blood goes to the extremities of our hands and our feet so that our body is prepared to fight or run or walk quickly in the case of some of you. And when we're in that state, the body isn't designed to sit down and enjoy a 3-course meal. It's not designed to be able to sleep deeply and well. It's not designed to let go of pain. Everything is on high alert. And as I'm giving you these strategies, I want you to know that they're meant to be, number one, super easy, and they're meant to produce results. As you play with them and discover, I like this one better than this one, great. You've just had a great discovery, because I'm sharing with you what works in our family. I'm sharing with you what works for clients. But many times people will say, well, I really like resetting my vagus nerve, or boy, breathing makes all the difference in the world. And then I have others, such as Forrest, my husband, who says, oh my goodness, that R&R pose is the easiest way for me to get a second wind in the middle of the afternoon to take me through the evening. So the key is for you to play with and practice each of these to find out which ones give you the best results. So when the blood has gone to the extremities, when you get into the position of the R&R pose, which means lying on the floor, bending at your knees and putting your feet on a chair. I mean, how often have we said after a day of shopping or a day of being out or a long trip saying, I just need to put my feet up. See, our body knows exactly what it's looking for. Now, for some of you, getting on the floor and putting your feet up on a chair might not be easy because you're not sure how you get back up. So I do have clients that'll lie on a bed and put their feet up on pillows. The key is that your feet are higher than the heart. Why is that important? Because now you're using the force of gravity to bring the blood flow back into this trunk area. The more that blood flow moves back to your core, the more the body goes, oh, everything's okay. I can go to peace and calm. And so that's the switch from being in sympathetic stress mode into parasympathetic calm mode. Now, ideally, you would be in this position for about 15 minutes, equivalent of about 4 hours of rest. Now, that doesn't mean you could do it twice and not sleep. No, no, no. What it means is if you're in deficient, which would be the symptoms I talked about, this is helping you put some margin back into your life. Now, typically, one of 3 things happen. One of the most common is that people fall asleep. If I were to assess adrenal exhaustion, 1 being you're in pretty good shape, 2 is not so good, and 3 is you're a mess. 2, that would be the person who does the R&R and they just fall asleep. They're just, And so if you're on a schedule, then you might want to set a timer because you could fall into some of the best sleep you've ever had. Some people, like for me, typically when I do it, I just feel really refreshed. I feel very relaxed, but I don't fall asleep. That's more of the 1. However, if you're at that other end of the spectrum where your adrenals are in really pretty poor shape because you have been living on adrenaline and cortisol, then you might do that for 15 minutes and just feel agitated. It's like, what is the problem? What is the problem? I don't like this. I've only had maybe a handful, maybe 5 people over 25, 30 years have that response. But those are the people whose adrenals were completely exhausted. And for those, we would do some work to support and nourish their adrenals. But over time, it was usually 2 to 4 weeks with the proper nutritional support, doing the R&R pose. They found they started relaxing and letting go. You see, if you've been revved up for so long and that has become normal, your brain thinks relaxing is really unsafe. And that's why being in the position of the R&R pose, you feel agitated. So if that's the case, might be good for us to talk so we can support those adrenals. They're pretty important. Just give our office a call. But for the rest of you, that R&R pose is one of the best things you can do to get an extra 4 hours of rest in just 15 minutes. So isn't it time to put your feet up whether it's on the bed or on the floor, and just relax. No texting, no reading, no phone. If you want to have a little bit of soft music, that's okay, but as much as possible, no stimulation, just relax. Your body will thank you for it, and you'll probably find you have more energy throughout the day, or many people do it right before they go to bed and find that they go into the best sleep they've had in ages. R&R, rest and refreshing. It's a quick trip to Tahiti that doesn't cost you anything.